can't believe I just watched that. Just seeing that from an NBA team is just disgusting to me. What I saw from the Philadelphia 76ers, it didn't even look like the series was on the line. It didn't even look like they had some type of emotion of holy shit, we're winning this game no matter what. Our season's on the line. If we lose this game, well, we're staying in Philly. We're going back to our apartment. We're going back to our house. But there was no level of urgency that I thought we were going to see from this Sixers squad. Or actually, I'm not going to say that about the whole squad. Maxey and Milton, they fought their ass off till the very end. I cannot take credit away from Shake Milton. I cannot take credit away from Maxey. This man was getting key deflections. He was helping pick up guys full court, just helping get big time steals down the stretch and kind of getting the Heat scared, even though the Heat were throwing some careless passes. Shake Milton somewhat made the game watchable for Sixers fans, getting some crazy buckets, drawing a couple fouls outside on the 3 point line. Just we know he's a scorer. He's a freaking walking bucket. He's a walking bucket. So he really did his thing. I thought they played their ass off. Maxey obviously needs to take the next step of sometimes setting the tone offensively with his passing or making the right read, slowing it down, playing at the right pace, but he's young. And no doubt about it, Maxey had a tremendous year. Maxey was freaking amazing this year. Maxey's someone you freaking give him all the money he wants because he's that freaking good. And he's going to continue to get better. He has the right attitude. He plays with no anxiety. Did he have the best game in the world? No. He made some careless decisions, not the best of decisions with the basketball at times, but he gets an excuse because he's been in the league. This is his second year. But you know who doesn't get an excuse? James Harden. James Harden was freaking unacceptable. 11 points. When it mattered, two or three shot attempts in that second half. I know he distributed the basketball well. I know that he played good defense, but you've been in the league for a very long time. You learn to make adjustments. Doc Rivers set your player up to be in the best position to be successful. Get him easier shots. Doc Rivers didn't do that. Doc Rivers deserves some blame. Your team should be motivated. They should fight their ass off for 48 minutes of basketball for you. And you did not see that with this ball club. You saw from a couple players of personnel, but James Harden, it looked like he didn't even give a shit when the game mattered. Yeah, he had a nice couple or a few step back threes in the first half. He was actually kind of trying defensively, ball denying Duncan Robinson at times, Max Strus. But when it looked like they were crumbling in the third quarter, or when they crumbled in the third quarter, he was like, I give up. That's that was the type of vibe I was getting from James Harden, and it's unacceptable. Why were 76ers fans booing? Because it looked like they didn't give a shit. They got out hustled. It's okay. What if you're playing great defense and hit a difficult shot? You're moving the ball well, your shots just not are not falling. You're playing good basketball, but you're just not executing. Or you're doing what's supposed to be happening, but it's just your shots aren't falling. You could live with that. Yes, it's frustrating, but you're playing your heart out. You're just trying to execute fundamentals. But when it looks like you're not running sets, when it looks like everyone's standing around, and it looks like you're playing out of control, not smart basketball, and it looks like you don't give a shit, yeah, you're gonna boo your freaking ball club. And I would have booed the shit out of them tonight if I was a Philadelphia 76ers fan. And the game wasn't ugly in the first half. I know the Heat were up one, and there was a couple moments it was like, damn, are the Heat gonna pull away? But then the Sixers responded. Like I thought Harden was gonna get into somewhat of a rhythm. Embiid looked like he started to get his feet under him, even though he didn't have an efficient game at all. What was he, 7 for 24? Yeah, 7 for 24. But I really think he's not there mentally with his injury. It looks like he's shooting knuckleballs because of his injury. His touch isn't there. It's really hard to have good touch when your finger is messed up. It really is. It looked like he was shooting a knuckleball. It looked like he had no confidence to put his head down, go to work, even though they did a great job sending blitzes, sending double teams. They made him feel uncomfortable. You didn't see them beat on the block, shimmy shake, like Akeem esque, fade away, hook shot. He took a lot of shots outside on the perimeter. Bam Adebayo did a good job. Got to give credit to him. You cannot just say Embiid struggled. But there just wasn't that confidence. There wasn't that crazy mentality from Joel Embiid. 20 points, 12 boards. But when this game mattered, you could say he had like 15, 16, 16 points. Obviously, there were some points when this game was over. But again, the game's not over until the clock strikes zero. But James Harden, he has this history of not showing up when it matters. You give up draft capital, you give up your team for James Harden to make this huge run. You lose in the second round, just disappears in the second half. Just disgusting to see. It's just really bad to see. Tobias Harris was inconsistent throughout this game. Danny Green, I sent prayers out to him. Gruesome leg injury. Hope his surgery is successful because I've seen injuries like that before. Most likely he's going to require surgery. Niang didn't do anything off the bench. Like, you need contribution from your bench when your starters aren't playing efficient basketball. And Maxey had some energetic plays in the first half, but the Sixers personnel wise do not have anyone that can match up against Jimmy Butler. He's a basketball. He's just a basketball nerd. Like, this dude studies film like a beast. His ability to catch guys on his hip, pull up from mid-range territory, his physicality. He's an underrated passer. He treats himself like he's a superstar. Like, he has that I'm the best player on the court mentality. He wants to take your soul. He wants to freaking rip your heart out. That's the type of vibe you get from Jimmy Butler. What was it, fourth or fifth straight game on the road of 30 plus points? Like, unbelievable what he did on both ends of the floor. Key deflections, timely buckets when it looked like the Sixers were going on somewhat of a run. Max Strus, unbelievable, coming off of screens. The Heat wore out the 76ers when it came to ball movement. They played a better brand of basketball. They played harder. They crashed the glass like beast. And it was embarrassing in the fourth quarter when the Sixers allowed like two or three offensive rebounds on that same possession, or obviously became a new possession with an offensive rebound. But when you're just allowing like three straight offensive rebounds in less than 20 seconds, it's just unacceptable. No one boxing out, no fundamentals. This team looks unorganized. But yeah, Max Strus coming off of screens. This overall team did a good job moving without the ball. Just cutting back door, coming off of screens, moving the ball. They wore out the Philadelphia 76ers. They made them fatigued. But Max Strus shot the ball very well. He was even driving to the cup. He was drawing fouls. He was passing the ball, getting assists, rebounding. But you shouldn't allow Strus to get 8 or 9 rebounds. That's unacceptable. That's not his game. If I'm a 76ers fan, I'm very disappointed. PJ Tucker finished with 13, 14 points, had 9 rebounds. He had some key offensive rebounds. He plays like a freaking warrior. He's not the most talented player on the floor, but you have to have guys that believe they're some of the best players on the floor. Tyler Hero, he didn't do much in the second half, gave them some contribution in the first half. Bam Adebayo, I actually liked the way he played. He let the game come to him. He wasn't forcing a lot of things offensively versus Joel Embiid. He was getting offense off of nice dump offs, being patient, hook shot. He did a great job defensively. Like, this Heat team's very good. Do they have enough star power to win an NBA championship? They have the grit, they have the chemistry, they have the basketball IQ, they have the coach, they have the star, but do they have that other star to consistently help them? Is the main question. But the 76ers, they didn't show up like this was a win or go back to my apartment or go back to my house game because it was already in Philly. Just to do that in Philly was just unacceptable and disgusting. You have to have that next man up mentality when your key guys and stepping up, and they didn't have that. Just turning the ball over. The third quarter was disgusting. Like, the third quarter is when they lost the game. The third quarter was just awful. You can't just have guys standing around. You can't be rushing your offense. You have to run your sets. And they were rushing when they didn't need to rush. It was just awful. They couldn't hit the side of the barn. Doc Rivers, there's a lot of question marks. Are they going to extend James Harden? Are they going to give Harden that contract? Are they going to trade Harris? Is Doc Rivers going to be fired? He should be fired. He's one of the most overrated coaches ever. Yeah, if you lost, that's awful. Obviously, you lost a huge game, but you could live with it if your team's fighting till the very end. Like, yes, Maxey and Milton were, but just when it mattered, when this game was really a game, it was they're just undisciplined. Like, they didn't even try on the boards. That's the key factor there. But Jimmy Butler has a heart of a lion. This Miami Heat team has a heart of a lion. Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, yo.